Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Josh Madsen. I'm the owner here at Freeheel Life, and I've missed all of you. I haven't been doing my podcast this summer, so it's nice to kind of get on and start doing some videos. And today I've got an exciting announcement, and I'm putting it here on the Freeheel Life channels to let you know that it's going on. So let me give you a little bit of background. Over the last 8 years of running Freeheel Life, having a retail store here in Salt Lake City, we sell a lot of Telemark equipment, and by default, we've gotten to know so many Telemark skiers from around the world, different styles, what kind of gear people are using. And one of the most interesting parts about Telemark is gear is so important to us because the boot and the binding combination is really what makes the sensation that people want and want to stay with typically. People are willing to move on to new gear over time, but a lot of times the conversation generally goes back to, here's what I started on, and here's what I would like it to feel like when I move into a new setup. So today I'm announcing a new product by Bluebird Day Gear, and it's going to be called Rescue Cables. So to give you a little background, I was just talking about the sensation that one feels when they're learning how to telemark ski and sort of how that transitions into new gear in the future. Arguably, the binding that has sold most in the history of telemark is the G3 Targa. So for those of you that aren't familiar and geeked out like I am on what a product name is or whatnot, many of you have seen this. It is generally a cable binding that started in the late 90s and was very prevalent up to probably 2010 or a little further, maybe even 2015. I know when we opened the shop in 2014, we were still carrying new parts for this binding. It's got a red cable traditionally, and that's kind of how you know what it is. So because this is arguably the binding that sold most kind of during the heyday of telemark in the early 2000s, many people learned how to telemark ski on this binding. And for that time, it was an incredible binding because it had compression springs, it had a very clean design, and the cables, for the time were very up to date. You know, we were coming out of bindings like Black Diamond Riva 2, Pitbull. Hammerhead was around, but a lot of people weren't really skiing that binding. And so G3 just sort of did a good job. They were in a lot of retail spaces and a lot of people got on to that binding. Point being is people learned how to telemark ski on that binding, and it has a very unique feel in modern terms. So one thing I've noticed over the since 2014 and running the shop is, as we've started to move towards NTN, new telemark norm, since 2008, I've not been really impressed with the companies that are making bindings. I don't think took into account where people were coming from. And a lot of people, especially here in the United States and North America, were on G3. So you have a very neutral feel in terms of where the binding activates the boot on the binding. And in NTN, it's a great platform. And I think there's ways for us to get into NTN and create something that's more neutral that would fit a lot of these folks. The main point of all this background is to show folks that I truly don't believe that people are that they're cheap, that they just don't want to move on to a new product. They don't want NTN because they're super anti-NTN. We've said in all of our videos, podcasts, everything, NTN is just the way you fasten the boot to the ski through the binding. But what happens is if you don't have the same sensation of someone who's skied on a certain product for a number of years, they've sort of paid into that style of skiing. And what I think has happened is there's just no product that fits this particular family of people that learned how to ski on Targas, are great telemark skiers, and they just want something that feels similar. They're not anti-NTN. So we're announcing rescue cables, okay? We are going to be manufacturing to the G3 specifications a aftermarket cable, and I just kind of want to go through the details of this because this is a pretty big endeavor to get it right, and I want to make sure that we do it correctly. And in order to do that, we're going to need to do a pre-sale. The pre-order is really to assess the viability of the project before we move forward with it, okay? So to be very, very clear, this isn't something we're just going to put on the website and make and hope that it works. I really need to see the demand out there. I know it's there, obviously, because we're doing this, but I want to see if we can get through this first batch. And the details are as follows. We're going to do a pre-order. I'm going to run it for approximately 5 days. And if we reach our units ordered objective, we'll proceed with manufacturing, okay? So that means you're going to put the order in if you want these. But if we don't reach the necessary goal of the units to produce in the allotted time of the 5-day pre-order, all orders will be refunded immediately, okay? So what we need to do is we need to see the demand, make sure it's there, and then we will proceed. So orders, I'm assuming we're gonna make this happen, and it's all up to you sharing the word, sharing it with your friends that may be in this position of part of this community. And that's what this is. This is an outreach to our Telemark community to provide something that I see a gap in terms of product right now, and we want to help them out. So once we get the green light with the objective numbers, you can expect your order to be shipped within 90 days from that time period. So this is going to allow us time to produce all the units and ship them to all the customers out there, okay? So a couple bullet points here to go over. These cables, like I said, are manufactured to the exact specification of previous G3 Targa cables, but as an aftermarket product under the Bluebird Day Gear name. And for those of you that aren't familiar, I know this is on the Freeheel Life channel. Bluebird Day Gear is an accessory company that we acquired in 2019, and we make leashes, aluminum heel levers that are universal, and smile plates. So this is a good fit for the Bluebird Day Gear product line, but it's all Freeheel Life family, so that's how we're doing it. One distinction is going to be the color. All of these cables are going to be black, not red. There's been other variations over the years, but it will be a black cable. It's a package of 4 cables. Okay, so basically this is how we're able to pull this off at this point, is to package them in sets of 4. So no single units, no 2 cables just to have backups. We are selling them as groupings of 4 cables. So that's what you can expect. This is a direct-to-consumer product and will not be offered currently in other retailers at this time. So if you're going to buy these, it's going to be through this pre-order that we're going to do, and that's how you're going to get them. We're not going to be able to, until we see the demand and kind of understand what's going on, we're going to keep it a direct-to-consumer product. So for those of you that have skied G3 Targa in the past, you're going to know that there have been various sizes over the years. There was a short, there was a standard cable, and a long cable. We are only going to produce the standard size cable. So this is fits a men's US 4.5 to a men's 14, okay? And that fits universally most people. There are some exceptions. So I'll probably do some additional videos if we get to the number we need. I'll probably do some additional videos to show how to make the adjustments within the binding to make these cables work for these different sizes on the extreme ends. But for right now, we're going to only do standard. Now, If you're interested in the long cable or a small cable, I need you to reach out to customer service at freeheellife.com and let me know what you're looking for and maybe the quantity that you're looking for. That's the only way I'm going to know if there's demand on the other ends of the spectrum. And otherwise, we're going to shoot for our financial objectives with the pre-order and the quantity only with the standard cables. And that's just for obvious reasons, because there's a lot more logistics when you start doing different sizes when we're manufacturing. So reach out to customer service at freeheellife.com if you have any questions, or more than that, do you need a long or do you need a small, or do you just need to know how to make the adjustments within the standard cable? I'm super excited about this. This is something I've thought about for a long time, and I think we were always just waiting to see if something fit the bill with newer bindings that were coming out, and it just isn't there yet. I'm confident that there's going to be a product in the future that fits the bill and is able to encompass all of these different styles of Telemark that people have learned over the years, and the feeling is so important to all of us. And that's why I want to reach out to this section of the community. So I hope you'll support us. You can go over to bluebirddaygear.com and look for rescue cables. So on bluebirddaygear.com, we only offer 4 items, this one included. Very easy to find. I'll put a link in the video notes below so that you can access it there. If you have questions regarding it, reach out to customer service at freeheellife.com. And the pre-order starts today. So we're going to open it up for 5 days, and we're going to see where that gets us. And really excited about this. Thank you for all your support and for being protectors of the turn with us, and looking forward to this project and making it happen. So until next time, spread Telemark always.